Dean Winchester always chose family over everything else. But there was one moment in season 5 where that choice almost killed him, and it should have changed the entire show forever. You know that feeling when you're watching your favorite show, and a character makes a decision that just doesn't sit right? Like you're screaming at the TV because you know there was another path, a darker path that the writers were too scared to take? That's exactly what happened with Supernatural in season 5. We had 15 seasons of this show, 327 episodes of Sam and Dean Winchester fighting monsters, saving the world, and dying for each other more times than I can count. But there's this one storyline that still keeps me up at night, wondering how everything could have been different. See, Supernatural wasn't just about hunting ghosts and demons. It was about two brothers against the universe, about free will versus destiny, about staying human when everything around you is trying to make you something else. The show built this incredible mythology around angels and demons, around the apocalypse itself. But in season 5, Dean faced a choice that could have turned the entire series on its head. And honestly, part of me wishes he had made the other choice. So, here's the thing about season 5 that most people forget. Dean wasn't just fighting Lucifer or the apocalypse. He was fighting himself. The guy had already been to hell, literally broke the first seal while being tortured, and was carrying around guilt that would crush most people. Sam was drinking demon blood like it was morning coffee, and Dean was watching his little brother turn into something he didn't recognize. Then Michael shows up. Not in some dramatic, wing-spread entrance like you'd expect from an archangel. No, Michael's pitch was simple, almost gentle. Say yes, and all of this ends. The suffering, the pain, the impossible choices, I'll handle everything. Now, in the show, Dean says no. He fights, he struggles, he finds another way, because that's what Dean Winchester does. But let's be real here. The man was hanging by a thread. So what happens if that thread snaps? Picture Dean saying yes to Michael on that Tuesday afternoon in some dingy motel room. Not in a moment of heroic sacrifice, but in pure exhaustion. Just a broken man who can't carry the weight anymore, whispering okay to the voice in his head. The first thing that changes. Sam never gets to make his choice, because Michael wearing Dean doesn't wait around for dramatic showdowns. He finds Sam within hours, and here's the brutal part. Sam doesn't even fight back at first. He sees his brother's face, hears Dean's voice, and for those crucial few seconds, he hesitates. That's all Michael needs. Lucifer possesses Sam, and suddenly we have the battle that was always meant to happen. But it's not taking place in some empty field in Kansas. It's happening in downtown Detroit, with millions of people watching two brothers destroy each other while wearing the faces of the most powerful beings in creation. The fight lasted 3 days. 3 days of Michael and Lucifer using Sam and Dean's bodies to tear apart the earth. Buildings collapse, the sky turns red, and every news channel in the world is broadcasting the end of everything. When it's over, both vessels are dead. Not just dead, completely destroyed. There's nothing left of Sam and Dean Winchester except memories. But here's where it gets really dark. Michael wins. He always was going to win. That was the plan from the beginning. Lucifer gets locked back in his cage, but Michael decides he likes it here on Earth. Why go back to heaven when he can remake this world the right way? So he does exactly that. Michael brings Dean back, but it's not really Dean anymore. It's Michael's perfect version of what Dean should have been. Same face, same voice, but all the rough edges smoothed out. No more drinking, no more classic rock, no more questionable decisions. This Dean follows orders, saves people efficiently, and never, ever disobeys heaven. Sam comes back too because Michael isn't cruel, he's practical. But Sam returns with no memories of hunting, no memories of the supernatural world. He's a lawyer in California, living the normal life he always wanted, completely unaware that his brother died saving the world and came back as something else entirely. The hunting community falls apart without the Winchesters. Bobby tries to keep things together, But he's lost his boys, and it breaks something in him that never heals. Castiel rebels against Michael's new order and gets his grace ripped out permanently. He spends his remaining human years in a psychiatric hospital, telling doctors about angels while they pump him full of medication. Here's the really messed up part though. The world actually gets better. Michael's version of Dean stops every monster, prevents every apocalypse, saves every person who needs saving. Crime rates drop, wars end, diseases get cured by miraculous breakthroughs that are actually just Michael pulling strings. But it's not really better, is it? It's perfect in the way a dollhouse is perfect. Everything in its place, nothing out of order, and absolutely no soul. The show would have had to become something completely different. Instead of following Sam and Dean's journey, we'd be watching this perfect world that Michael created, seeing glimpses of the cost. Maybe we'd follow other hunters trying to figure out what happened to the Winchesters. Maybe we'd see Sam's normal life slowly unraveling as his subconscious remembers things it shouldn't. There'd be episodes where Bobby drinks himself to sleep looking at photos of the boys. Episodes where Castiel has moments of clarity in his hospital room, scribbling angel symbols on the walls that the orderlies keep painting over. Episodes where Sam gets strange dreams about a black Impala and a brother he doesn't remember having. And every now and then, we'd see Michael Dean showing up to solve some supernatural crisis. He'd handle it perfectly, efficiently, without any of the mess and chaos that made the real Dean human. The monsters would be defeated, the people would be saved, and everything would go back to normal. But the people who knew the real Dean would see right through it. They'd see this thing wearing their friend's face and know that the man they loved died in that field, and what came back was just heaven's idea of what he should have been. The worst part? This version of Dean would occasionally have flashes of the real Dean's memories. He'd remember Sam's laugh, or the way the Impala's engine sounded, or the taste of a particular pie. But these memories would feel foreign to him, like watching someone else's home movies. He'd know these experiences happened to him, but he wouldn't understand why they ever mattered. Sam's story would be even more tragic, living a completely normal life, but always feeling like something was missing. He'd be successful, happy even, but there'd be this constant ache he couldn't explain. He'd find himself drawn to classic rock for no reason he could name. He'd have nightmares about burning ceilings and yellow eyes. He'd meet a woman and fall in love. But part of him would always feel like he was betraying someone, though he'd never know who. The real kicker? In this timeline, everyone gets exactly what they thought they wanted. Sam gets his normal life. Dean gets to save everyone. The world gets peace. Heaven gets order. But it's all built on the death of free will, on the sacrifice of everything that made the Winchester brothers who they were. And maybe that's the most supernatural horror story of all. Getting everything you thought you wanted, and realizing too late that the price was your soul.